gotta make sure that when I go into it this time, I actually hit like the button that does the thing. So in that way, I don't have to see the hard transition. Or
Go out of
a dick and not do what I wanted to do. I guess that's always
get out of studio mode, then do the transition.
No. I don't use studio mode for transitions. Studio mode I only use to do the things that I don't want people to see that I'm doing. Transitions are all hard baked in. Like I have a thing built into it that basically it says if you're on this scene, do this transition. If you're on this scene, do this transition.
Okay.
But I also have like a actual command built that this one right here do the thing. Hopefully, if it works, hey, here we go. Not only does it do the transition, but it slowly fades the music out, so it's not a hard cut because that drives me fucking nuts. But hey, how's everybody doing? Episode 8 of Adventures from Amethil. Can't believe we're on 8 already. It's growing up so fast. We'll be in double digits shortly. It did have a few housekeeping items that I did want to go over, though. For one, there are a bunch of new Stream Loops cards. So I have been ramping up what we have and kind of want to showcase it just a second here so you can actually see everything that's going on. And I need this thing to just load instead of just showing the thing. Okay, cool. And theoretically speaking, if I do this correctly, make sure I can... Yes, okay, so let's do this. Pop that up there. I can't remember how to make it do, like, so you can click on it.
I desire to be a loot goblin.
Isn't there a way to click on the links of the page? Like, treat it like it's an actual website? I could have swore there was.
I think you have to do it in the properties menu.
That's what I thought too, but I don't see anything in there that's showing it.
You're a very cute dog. You're getting none of my enchiladas.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything on here. I could have swore there was a way to do it. There it goes. Okay, so what I want to do is click here and not do that. Do I have to do this? I do have to do that. That sucks. Alright, well, I'm not going to log in here. I guess this kind of defeats what I was trying to do, but essentially I wanted to show off some of these cards here. Seems how it wants to be an asshole, I'll just not do that and just talk about it for a second. So there are a total of 34 cards now. And you could do anything from giving the players potions, giving them crafting materials, giving them in-game currency, all the way up to more interactive elements like giving them golden D20s, which will allow them to re-roll any D20 that they want to. Some of the new cards that were introduced are the Table of Fate cards, which bestow an either positive or negative effect on the player based on the roll. So we have those individually that you could do, Or there's also a new one called Threads of Fate, which
Shut up.
would roll it for everybody at once. You have the ability to create quests. And as Megan was saying earlier, there's in-chat titles you can earn. And one of the ones you can earn is Loot Goblin. And the only way you can do that is to craft that card in Streamloots. It's not available in any of the Streamloots packs. You have to craft it and play it to do it. And then similarly, there's one other special one on there that there's only 3 left of, called Befouled Fortune, which will grant a unique boon to the players. Only 3 of them left. And then, Sin's jumping ahead here, but you also have the ability to give the players magic items. So there's a standard magic item that you could give them, and then there's one that would be an increased rarity of magic items. And the way that works essentially would be the standard magic items are going to be level appropriate. So at their level right now, it would be all uncommon magic items, which are like +1 items, if you will, right? But if you do the increased rarity of them, then that would take it up from uncommon to rare, where they have like a potential of getting like a +2. So there is that. And then there's a new table that I created that has 3 options you could roll on. So it's a D100 that gets rolled in Fantasy Grounds. If you land on a 2 through 50, then the players will get a roll on the Magic Curios table I created. If they roll a 51 through a 99, they get a roll on the Magical Trinkets table that I created. But if you roll a 1 on the D100, the party will get a useless magic item. And then if you roll a 100 on the D100, they will get a roll on both the Magic Curios and the Magic Trinkets. I specifically created these items in a way that I have to be mindful that Sin's character is an artificer who can create magic items. So I didn't want to infringe on his ability to do so. So all of the items that you have the ability to give the players are non-standard Dungeons and Dragons items. So that way there's no overlap. You don't have to worry about like putting someone in a position where their character's abilities aren't going to be able to be utilized because chat can just do better. So that's a thing. And then just for funsies, I took the useless magic item out of that table and I threw it into Twitch chat. So using your Twitch chat points that you build up, you can just make a roll on the useless magic items for the players. And seems how Sin played it, I'll actually just do a roll real quick, just because why not? And trying to decide if I should just give this one to Sin, since how he played it, or if I should just normally you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to go ahead and roll on it. All right. So the useless magic item is a puzzle cube that cannot be manipulated at all, as if it's fused. It radiates strong magic. Its purpose is to radiate strong magic. It changes the nature of what magic it radiates every hour. Evocation, divination, etc. It's actually an antique training device from yesteryears to help measure the success with which up-and-coming casters are casting detect magic. It does nothing else. So this is the magic item. And I think that with Sin being a artificer, it's only appropriate that the first item that he creates is going to be this useless magic item that does nothing but radiate the type of magic that it is currently. So puzzle cube, we'll call it. Also, Fantasy Grounds updated. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they like changed a ton of shit.
I'll be honest, I can't notice much on my laptop, but you know,
Oh no, you will. Wait till like an image is pulled up.
okay. Also, I am on my laptop and I forgot the charger. So,
You got
be
that
good
bitch on
night.
battery saver mode.
Oh, it is.
Um,
Brightness is about a quarter.
it's at a quarter, or it's already used a quarter.
No, brightness is set at a quarter.
Oh, I got you. Brightness, gotcha. I apologize. So, anyways, with all that being said, a lot of cool shit going on as far as the stream loots interactions that you can do there, and I'm gonna take some more of these and bring them into channel points as well, just so that way you don't even have to leave Twitch to do the things. So, with that being said, who wants to do a recap of what happened 2 weeks ago where we ended episode 7?
Adam should totally do it.
I can do an actual.
I don't
recap.
remember anything.
Started session 7, busting through one of the stained glass windows in the Church of Durian. We see the guard captain Skewer Josiah starts walking towards us, saying that we didn't do enough to stop this. We look around, don't really see anyone, like any of the cultists in the church, controlling the guard captain, so we end up killing him. Immediately after we take out the guard captain, Nell jumps over some pews, rushes to Josiah, and sees that he is a changeling, or a changeling is impersonating him, or there's a dead changeling in front of them. So immediately sees this, turns, jumps out the window to go fight more baddies. The rest of the party does a little bit of an investigation or looting bodies. Thrain gets the sword and shield off the guard captain. Roderick gets some gold. The changeling isn't wearing anything under his vestments, so there's not really much on him. We find out that this is a church dedicated to Behemoth, and trying to figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Eventually, we get the changeling corpse, pull him out of the church window, and a few minutes after that, we get notice that the cultists have been cleared in the city. The city's on lockdown, no one in or out. And then Nell shows back up as a high-ranking guard. Lieutenant comes to argue with the party. It gets to a point where the guard tries to grapple Desmond. Then Roderick and Thrain step in to stop him. Roderick even puts one of his guns up to the guard's head, and that makes him stand down. We get appointed chaperones. We got told we can't leave Durian, and the party leaves to go and help the injured around the city. Nell takes us to the southwest part of Durian, the place that they say isn't going to get help from the city. So we go there, find where all of the injured are being gathered, and we see that there's like no guards here, and there's a singular healer tending to all the injured. So we stay here for a few hours. Everyone does what they can to help out. And after eating here, Nell and Thrain head back to Nell's house to get some rest while Desmond and Roderick stay up through the night, hitting all of the major hotspots around Durian where groups of injured have gathered, trying to do what they can to help. Then, after a few hours of that, Desmond and Roderick go to Nell's house and they take their turn to rest for a few hours. In the morning, we're awakened by the same guard lieutenant as last night, summons us to the Barons, the castle in Durian, and apologizes to Desmond for the night before. Once we get to the castle, the Baron greets us and praises us as the heroes of Durian, the people that saved the city, though Thrain thinks he's trying to gussy us up for something. He then asks us to be discreet about Josiah being a changeling or a changeling imposter, just being discreet about that whole situation, and he's willing to compensate us for our discretion. Um, After we relay any info that we have to the Baron, he tells us that we're free to leave Durian, and we do that as soon as we finish our meeting with him. So we leave Durian. Soon as we leave the walls, slam shut behind us, Nell goes and starts gathering bodies of the citizens, praying to them, helping them find their way to their eternal rest and all that. Um, Roderick and Thrain are looting some of the cultists, and the guards don't take too well to that. A little bit of an argument breaks out, and we end up paying a small fine and immediately just leave Durian right afterwards. So we start our way back to Trudid. Along the way, all of us do a little bit of downtime activities. Nell works on some potions. I don't remember if that was successful or not. No, something's telling me that it wasn't successful. They create their
Made
own
of
song.
poison instead.
Yeah, they made a concoction of something. Yeah, they create their own song and work out for the remainder. Thrain spends most of his downtime gathering materials. Desmond makes a magic item for Roderick, and the entire time Roderick is studying Tinker's tools in order to maintain his firearms and create his own ammunition. Once we finally make it back to Trudid, the entire party gathers up into the guild hall. We all come together, have a fresh cooked meal. Everyone's joking around, catching up with Quillwise and Nell's mother, and that's where we ended.
I have a mouthful of cheese stick. I apologize. Yeah.
We're all
So
so good at making sure we've had dinner before stream and not exactly as stream starts. Very good.
I'm gonna get my food in like 20 minutes. Don't worry.
we're all professionals.
It's one of those streams people watch just to watch a seat or something. I don't know.
Hey, if I could figure out the audience for mukbang, I'd do it.
Right? Like, okay. I'll eat some food for you.
As long as you don't want me to like be all sexual with it. And if you do,
Right?
it's
Like
gotta
the
be
ones
really
where they
good
just
food.
want you to eat it like you're like a ravenous caveman. I'm like, that's the audience I want. Give me a big old plate of ribs and just videotape me enjoying them. And oh, sure.
What's the guy's name? Something avocado?
Nikado.
Yeah, Nikado avocado, like him.
Mm.
eating a big plate full of spaghetti with your hands and crying.
Table full of spaghetti, not a plate.
A table full.
Yeah, that's legit the serving size.
That's terrifying. Maybe I don't want to get it. Sounds like a painful time.
Before we kick off, Sirenscape working for everybody?
Fuck.
Okay, Sirenscape.
I mean,
That's the
I have
thing.
it open. It's just, again, below my volume level. Where I hear absolutely nothing. There we go.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So, we'll pick up right where we left off. Everybody enjoying their meal at the table in the Eclipsean Order Guild house. The day's winding down. It's your first day back. Is there any sort of nighttime activity that anybody wants to partake in as far as, sort of utilizing the home base to get one of your downtime events in? Or anything regarding the city of Truded?
We determined that the smith here was not enough of an artisan to make the gold into a proper sigil of this, didn't we?
No. So the assumption is that he isn't, and he's not a specialized blacksmith. He's kind of like a jack of all trades. But that is a conversation you could have to decide if he could do it. But that
Yeah, I
would
could
cost
go talk with
coin and
Broderick.
time. Okay.
Yes, you should go talk to Broderick.
Yes,
We just-
Broderick.
We love Broderick.
My favorite blacksmith. That Broderick.
The name no one will ever forget now.
It's just funny because it's Roderick and Broderick.
Right.
I imagine he's just an XL version of Roderick.
He is. He
Right.
looks exactly like Roderick, just like 6 inches wider on the shoulders on each side.
With a mustache.
He's just broad.
Sometimes it's like hanging off to the side.
And you've never seen him and Roderick in the same room at the same time.
Right.
We're not sure if Roderick just goes spreads his shoulder blades. It's just like, hello, I'm NPC now.
My name is Broderick. All right, Nell's gonna talk to Broderick. What's anybody else doing?
I am going to grab Thrain and ask him some questions.
Hey. Oh, that's what I'm doing, I'm guessing.
You still have your own like choice of things to do too.
Yeah.
But like, tell me what it is now.
I guess just generally helping out around the city. Intruded. Anything that needs to be done.
Okay, sure. And what's Roderick doing?
Just if anybody needs to go do something where they'd be alone, he's gonna go with, so everyone at least has one person with them.
But not to the general store.
Don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, Desmond, we'll play yours out first.
Okay. Thrain, when you're in battle and hammer and shield, do you need a what do those holy people use to cast their spells?
I'll pull out my amulet that's around my neck, but it's tucked in. I said, yeah, this is what I use.
Are you? I assume you are fond of the amulet, but would you like to be able to cast without having to lower either your hammer or shield? I can
Would
embed a gem the same way I did Nell and my gear into your hammer, and as long as you're praying over it as I embed it with the magic, it can be used as your focus.
that would be nice. Yes.
Okay. Let me gather the materials. You figure out what you're going to say in your prayer, and I'll get to work on it.
All right. And
Okay.
after this conversation, Thurian, that's when you would. I assume this would happen like right around when dinner is wrapping up, and then you could head out to the city then, as Nell is also heading out to talk to Broderick. For the record, as long as the holy symbol is visible, it works. So like just having it out is enough for a cleric or a paladin. So if you wanted to keep it safe where you didn't have to actually have your holy symbol out, this would be the perfect thing for it. But you don't necessarily need to like hold on to it when you're casting or do anything special, as long as it's visible.
Okay.
One thing I
Is
didn't
that-
know is that you can actually just bear it on a shield too.
Is that
Oh,
raw?
okay.
Is that what?
Is that raw?
Yeah, that's rule. Look up holy symbol. I wanted to. I looked it up just to make sure too. I didn't know that as long as you bore it on a shield, that's all it took too.
I was looking through all of the different items I can make, and the one that stood out for Thrain was being able to use their weapon as a spellcasting focus.
Yeah. Well, that you normally couldn't do, but if it's like the symbols on a shield, you can. So like I guess it would be really good for like someone who's using like a two-handed weapon. But either way, still works really good. But I did want to just put that out there that mechanically, as long as it's visible, it works for that.
Also makes that weapon something that's like, okay, but like, how do I trade out this weapon? Because it's now my holy item.
Nah, Desmond just like unscrews the gem and then screws it into the next item.
You know what? What if you're the nerd, Jay?
Well, they are the nerd. Nell. So it's sunset at this point. And as you make your way to the general store, Broderick's like sweeping. He's got the door propped open and he's sweeping from the inside the dust out into the open. And he sees you walking up and he's like, "Are you headed my way?"
Sure am. How are you doing this evening, Broderick?
Not too bad, not too bad. Now that everything's starting to settle back to normal around here. A couple nights ago was the first night that I opened the doors back up to the public.
Well, we're glad to see you back in service.
And I'm glad to see you all back intruded.
Safe and sound.
I would expect nothing less. What you got there?
So this is a large melted hunk of gold.
He
I'm
takes
sure
it, he
you've
looks
seen
at
that.
it, and he's like, Yes.
Sure is.
Yes, it is.
I was wondering if you had the ability to create like a wall hanging of the symbol of the Eclipsean Order. Or if that's out of your wheelhouse, if you knew somebody you could recommend us to.
No, you just want it to be something you hang on the wall?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Yeah, I could knock that out. Are you wanting me to melt this down into the sigil?
Yes. That, or you could plate something else with it, and then maybe you could make brooches for the rest of us of it. I don't know, just a thought.
Well, we only get one shot at this, so let me know which approach you want to go with.
Well, the brooch isn't that large, so I think we'd probably be fine taking the material to make 5 pins that we could each wear of the
Yeah.
Eclipsean Order sigil, along with the wall hanging with the remaining.
Yeah, that sounds fair. All I got to do is melt it down, divide it up, and create a template that I can pour the molten gold into. Shouldn't be too bad. Should only be about... Now go ahead and give me a persuasion roll, please.
I don't know why my brain cannot separate skills and abilities, and I always click the wrong tab.
I mean, whichever one you keep clicking, we can just move everything to that tab.
Persuasion.
Dun dun dun. Go ahead and give me a give me a d20. Hey. So he says, job like this, I'd probably normally have to charge around 50 gold. But since how you're providing the material already, let's just call it 30.
That sounds perfectly reasonable. Thank you very much.
And give me... Let's call it 5 nights to finish. It shouldn't take that long, but I'd rather under-promise and over-deliver.
Not a bad policy to live by. How many... My brain's not working. There's 10 gold and a platinum, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So 3 platinum would do.
Yep, so Nell will hand over 2 platinum and 10 gold.
Okay.
And now they are broke.
He takes one of the platinum coins. He says, So you guys have been busy. We haven't had any sort of exchange in platinum in a short while here.
I honestly think this is the first time I've ever touched a platinum in my life. But yes, when we were in Darien, we had some dealings and got paid in platinum.
High or low?
Low.
He takes it and he puts it on the counter, and he goes, I'm going to keep this one here for you. Person should hold on to their first platinum. Next time you have 10 spare gold laying around, or if you get yourself another platinum coin, come in and exchange it. I want you to keep the first one that you earned.
They smirk and nod. I'll remember that. Thank you, Broderick.
I'll get started on this first of dawn.
Hey, if we were to roll out onto our next mission, take your time. You never know how long it takes us to get back. If you have other orders that come in that are more urgent, don't put us ahead.
I'll keep them safe if you're not here when I finish.
Thank you very much.
And Nell, do I want to know where you got a plate of melted gold?
Cliff, do the people of Truded know that the others are gone?
The people that treated know, yes. I don't think that they know the details, but they know that something happened, yes.
It was something that resulted in the demise of our fallen comrades. We had been making joking bets, and this was found in the aftermath near the remains of one of our comrades, the one who was holding the funds.
I'll make sure it's done proper for you.
Thank you. It is a memoriam.
Now, if you need anything else, stop by. The doors are open.
Of course. Have a wonderful evening. They
You as
turn
well, thank you.
around and head back to the guild hall to talk with their mom. Well, not talk with, I don't need to have a talk with you on it. It's just, they're just hanging out.
You want to talk to me?
What do you want to talk about?
So much stuff.
Oh, girl.
Thrain, as you're going around, you're starting to see Truded's starting to show a little bit more life than it has been in the past few weeks. Sort of popping back up to normal. There are a few random people that do, ask for your assistance with small things like bringing in grain into the house and just odd jobs like that. As you're making your final rounds back forward, in one of the small farmhouses that's in the city walls, there's this little old gnome who makes you look tall. They're hunched over, they're completely wizened, and they need help from someone with getting something off of the top shelf of the study. And you are the person that they see.
Okay.
And they're like, I hate to be a burden, but I have an old lockbox in my study, and it's been there for decades. I was going through an old memorabilia box and found the key to it, but it's so high up. You being such a young, tall man, would you mind helping me reach this old lockbox?
The
Let's
gnome asks
see.
the humble dwarf.
Let's see where it's at. And then if I'm not tall enough, I know some people who are.
She welcomes you into her little house, and as you go in there, you get like the fresh smell of a pie being baked, and it's all warm and cozy. And she leads you into this back room, and in the back room, there's this small little office area that has these shelves that are literally floor to ceiling shelves. So you got about 7 feet up is the top shelf that she walks you over to, and she's like, I think it's up on that one.
Do you happen to have a stool or a ladder I could stand on to get it?
Yes. And she like scurries out of the room, and she comes back and she brings you this stool that's about 18 inches tall. And she sets it right in front of the shelf.
Give me a second here. What is it? Is it this one? Okay, of course I don't. Why would I? Hang on. Huh. Okay. So reaching my arms up, so say I'm 4 feet, let's be generous, 8 inches.
Wait,
Coming
what are
a
we
little-
doing to
Reaching
the
my
gnome?
arms up.
You're a little shy from the top shelf.
So it's 6. And I step up on that with stepping up on the stool. I'm just shy.
I was being generous with my description. It's 7 feet tall. You're like 4 feet tall. You with 18
18
inches on
inch-
top of that, that's like 5 feet tall.
Arms reaching straight up. Your arms aren't that
6.
long.
About to say, are your arms 2 feet long? Like above your head? If so, that'd be freakishly long arms.
Yeah, no.
If they are, they're cannon
Drag
mounds. Let me
volume
know. You got some gorilla arms. We're making that cannon.
Okay.
So we'll say that reaching up, you probably still have a good, conservatively, we'll say 15 to 20 inches above you that you would have to do. So you could try to climb it. You could try to jump and grab it. Or any other thing that you want to try to do.
How sturdy does the shelving unit look?
Give me a, do you have any proficiency with carpentry tools?
Don't believe so.
Give me an insight check.
No.
They look old. They look like they were like custom built for this wall. So, you know, it was probably pretty good, craftsman work at the time. But they definitely look old.
Are there any vertical supports near
Oh yeah,
where
so
this
like
lockbox is?
so the entire shelf is like a wall to wall shelf, right? So, every 3 or so feet, there's a vertical piece of wood that goes from like floor to ceiling, that the shelves are connected to.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get to the vertical support that's closest and try to climb it. Or I'll look at the gnome and ask, "Are you okay if I try to climb this shelf?"
Don't hurt yourself.
Okay. I'll attempt to climb the shelf, staying as close as I can to support that make it buckle, hopefully less.
For no reason in particular, are you still in your full armor?
No.
Okay.
Walking around truded, I am rarely carrying my shield and rarely in my armor unless I have to be.
Okay. Then go ahead and just give me a straight athletics check. We'll say on this one, I mean, it's fairly easy, DC 10. Hey, dirty 20.
I wanted
Yeah.
him to fall.
As you begin to shimmy your way up this vertical support, you take particular notice in this brilliant gnome craftsmanship. The shelves don't even wiggle as you climb on top of them. And as you make it to the top shelf, you see the lockbox, and it's right there, right at your fingertips.
I'll try to shimmy out closer to the lockbox.
Sure.
Just inching out until I can just barely grab it with fingertips and pulling it closer to the edge.
Perfect. That works. I'll
Or
let you.
closer to where I'm standing.
Sure. Okay. I'll give you the choice on this one. Do you want to do an acrobatics check to see how? Or I'm sorry, not an acrobatics. A sleight of hand check to see how deftly you can move your fingers to just sort of move it right over to you, or do you want to do a coin toss?
Sleight of hand. I don't like coin tosses.
Okay, go ahead and give you a sleight of hand roll.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw that 4 for a second. I don't know what the DC is, but I saw that 4 and I knew that wasn't it.
No, you're good. DC's 10.
Okay.
So yeah, you get to the very, very tip of your finger, and you're just feeling the wood just grace your fingertip as you're just slowly inching it towards you, and you manage to grab it. And as you do, you hear her say, "Oh, that's the one!" And she's like clapping at you underneath.
I'll coming down. I'll put the lockbox on a shelf, step down with shelf, and then just do that going down. So I have both hands to climb down.
Sure, no worries. So you make it to the bottom, and you give her the chest, the little lockbox, and she's like, oh, I can't wait to see what's inside of here. And she runs to the kitchen table and she pulls out the little key, and she's like, this isn't the right one.
Oh.
Do you know where the right one might be?
She's like, you've helped enough today. I'll figure it out, and I'll find
Put
it
it
one
back
of these
up
days.
on the top shelf, dearie.
Alright. If you ever do need help with getting something else, just feel free to let me know.
She's like, well, before you go here, take some pie. Would you like some tea?
No, but I do appreciate the pie.
She gives you a slice of pie as she pulls the pie out of the oven, and she cuts it while it's still hot, and you can just see it sort of oozing out of the crust, and it smells delicious. She's like, I have some fresh picked berries.
No,
What about a
the pie
water
is
skin?
fine.
Is there anything that I can offer you? I appreciate all
Romance.
the help.
The pie is perfect.
So yeah, so she doesn't let you leave without like taking a handful of berries, and like she like stuffs your pockets full of candies, and you're on your way.
Alright. I'll take
You
this
sure
fresh
this
pie.
wasn't a halfling, not a gnome?
Definitely a gnome.
That was it seemed like such a halfling thing interaction right there. I've got some berries. Would you like some pie?
Nah, if it was a halfling, they wouldn't have shared. They'd be like, I got berries and pie. I got berries and pie.
I'll bring the fresh pie back to the guild hall and share it with everyone.
That's just a slice. She didn't give you
Oh,
the whole
okay. Well, never mind.
I'll take my share.
Everybody have a nibble.
Everybody just gets a little forkful. All right, so yeah, so as you all wind down, Roderick, anything specific you wanted to do besides making sure no one was alone?
No.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So as the evening winds down, you are all back in your beds for the first time in almost 2 weeks, I think. No, almost a week. And for the first time since the loss of your companions, it's the first time that it's really felt kind of back to normal, and for a short while at least, sort of the gravity of everything going on gets lifted. Roderick. As everyone falls asleep, you find yourself sort of tossing and turning a bit and just not able to fall asleep. And as you're lying there, from sort of a dark recess in the back of the guild hall, you hear a man's voice. It's a familiar sounding voice, but you can't quite put a finger on whose it is. And it's there for just sort of a brief second, enough that it catches your attention. And as you're sort of laying there focusing on the emptiness, hearing the hums of everyone around you, breathing, you hear it again. And you make out a voice saying, "Don't just lay there. Come here."
Click, click. He's looking around. Is there anyone else up, or is it just him right now?
As you look around, everyone else is out.
You said the voice sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Does it give him any sort of feeling of good or bad familiarity, or?
Give me an insight check.
Alright.
There's something warm and inviting about the voice. It's almost a it's a familiar voice, we'll say. In the most literal definition.
Okay. So yeah, he's keeping one of his guns out and aiming it at the ceiling, and he's going to start slowly making his way over to where it sounds like this voice may be coming from.
Yeah, so you navigate your way through the guild hall a little bit, and you hear the voice again say, "You're not gonna need that." And it's a little bit louder, but it's a very calming demeanor, very like assuring voice. And as you sort of move in the direction of this voice, you find yourself moving down this hallway in the guild hall, which would lead to like where your guys' like barracks area was, or like your treasury room. And as you make it to the end of the hall, the voice sounds like it's like right next to you. And as you turn to look, there is this full-length mirror. And you are seeing yourself standing there still holding the gun. And as you turn your head to sort of look to see where this voice came from your peripheral, you notice your reflection does not turn. It is still looking at you.
He knows out of his peripheral, unholsters the other gun, points it at the mirror, and then turns and looks.
And as you
So
do, as
first
you do that,
question,
it's
what?
still standing there, like this, looking at you. It's still got the gun
Mhm.
up.
Okay. He's still pointing the other one
Yeah.
at the mirror. So, care to explain?
I just wanted to get a good look at you. Ever since, well, ever since I found out that you lived in the mirror, I had to come see.
That I lived in the mirror.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's silly me talking to my reflection, but
Well, from where I'm standing, it seems that you're the one that's living in the mirror.
but no, you're and it like taps the mirror with its gun, like
Have you heard of No You?
So I am guessing that you have lived an entire life, and all of a sudden, sometime within the last several days, you've noticed something different.
yeah. I've always been sort of quick on the draw and impulsive, and recently I've been noticing that when I need to calm down, when I need reassurance, that you're there to provide the reassurance for me.
So, wait a minute. I'm reassuring you. When I looked into the pond a few days ago, asking what I should do as far as the enemies marching towards the gates of the city, that wasn't you, but it was.
What? That the other night we were going to do something really terrible, and I came to that pond and you talked me down from doing something bad.
He holsters both his guns and then walks up closer to the mirror. And then he first knocks on the glass.
And as you holster your guns, like a mirror like reflection, your reflection holsters the guns, and as you reach up to knock, you do it at the exact same time.
And then he slowly puts his hand up to the glass to see if he can beat its hand.
Yeah, and as your hands touch, you feel the coldness from the glass, and then after just a second, you start feeling the warmth of physical touch.
And he says, "What is your name?"
Say Broderick.
No!
I'm so sorry.
Kick it, Drawder. No, he says. He kind of looks at you puzzled. He's like, Roderick Wovencraft?
I see. So am I. And then he's going to put more force to see if he can like push through.
And as you start pushing through, you start feeling the force pushing back on you at equal strength. And your reflection says, try to grab my hand and pull.
And he shifts his fingers around to try to grab.
And as you move, you see the reflection move opposite.
He's going to clinch and start pulling.
Yeah, so you interlock fingers for a moment, and as you pull, you see this sort of gray visage of your reflection being pulled out from here. And as about wrist or so gets pulled through, you wake up.
Is it morning?
Nope. It is still the middle of night.
He looks around for a second, gets his bearings, gets up, and he goes over to see if there's a mirror still there.
Yeah, the mirror's still there.
Roderick?
Oh, hold on a second here. I think I want to roll a perception check just to like see if I wake up or something.
Sure.
Oh, nope. I just thought it would feel funny to be like, the fuck are you talking to yourself in the mirror for? It's 2 a.m.
So you run over and you say it, and you don't get any response. And like you notice, so like as you're standing there, sort of talking to yourself, that your reflection is accurately mimicking your actual movements.
Yeah, he's double check how I made his stats. Yeah. So he like keeps doing shit like he's like, okay, starts walking away and they're like, ha! Like trying to trick it and shit.
Just for shits and giggles, give me a perception roll.
You're gonna fail so
Oh.
bad you think you got him.
Damn it.
Um,
How loud are you being?
He's so like he realizes when he goes over there everyone's still sleeping, but then he like kind of gradually forgets, so he's a little bit louder. So if you're a light sleeper you might stir, but if you're a heavy sleeper not so much. It's kind of like that.
Okay. Okay.
and it is on like the other side of the guild hall, so
Okay.
yeah, like the treasury room is like on the far back area, whereas like the sleeping quarters are more like as you first walk in, like off to the right. Yeah, so as you're doing it, you do a few little moves to try to trick your reflection, but to the best of your sleepy eyes, like everything just feels like a normal reflection.
He's like, all right, let's lock fingers. Come on, let's do the thing.
So as you put your hand on the mirror and try to lock fingers, through the reflection in the back of the hallway, just in the blackness of the guild hall, probably about 4 or 5 feet over your head in the blackness, you see these yellow eyes.
Just eyes.
You see just eyes. It's just complete blackness in the background, and from the blackness you see these eyes.
He goes, nope, and then he scurries back over to his bed.
So
and-
As you turn around, you see the eyes. It was not just in the mirror. And you see this smile crawl on the face. And as it does, you hear this voice sort of speak to you. And at first, you can't make out the dialect of this. And for whatever reason, in the back of your mind, you hear this growly, sort of gravelly voice say, "Wake up." And as it does, you wake up. And your chest is on fire.
This bitch touching you again?
Is this still the same time of night?
It's still the exact same type of night.
He sits up. He's like, ah. And then he just starts slapping himself, making him feel the pain.
No.
And you feel a burn on your chest, slightly lower than where those carvings were. But the pain is identical.
Yeah, he's going to get up and go over to Desmond. Desmond.
Desmond doesn't sleep in there with y'all. Desmond has his own room.
Is he in the closet? God damn it. Well, yeah, he's gonna go find Desmond.
Desmond's quarters are like in the same area where like the more higher ranking members of the order were sleeping in, even though Desmond's rank is the exact same as everybody else's.
That's just too much work.
It's almost like he's a secret Disney princess or something.
What secret?
All right. Let's see. I guess he'll find Thrain.
No, Thrain's right there with you. Yeah.
Thrain, wake up.
Yeah.
Okay, so my reflection is talking to me. I was pulling through the mirror, and then I woke up, and then I went to the mirror again, and there was eyes in the mirror. I turn around, there's eyes behind me. It told me to wake up. Now I have a burning in my chest. It's like getting lower, and I don't know if I'm awake right now. Say something that only you would know, that I would know, so I can make sure that I'm not awake or am still asleep or something.
How non-lethal was your last shot?
I only fired non-lethal shots. He goes, scrambles over, finds a water bucket, and starts splashing his face.
I feel like at this point he's frantic enough that Nell is waking up.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'll walk over to wherever you are. Do you have any more markings? Because you said there's burning.
He pulls up his shirt and looks down.
And there is a new carving on your right hand side, like right at like the base of like your rib cage.
Hold on, what is happening? What are all these markings from, anyways?
I thought I'd have some drinks with the girls, go out on a night on the town, and we get matching time. I don't know. I keep waking up and shit is happening.
So I'll look at all the other markings and I put my hand over them without touching. Like, I think all of those are from the last time when a lot of stuff happened in the room. Remember that chair? Yeah, that chair. That time. But This one is new, he's saying.
And from like, just from looking at it, you could tell like the 5 on the top have almost like scarred over at this point already, whereas the one underneath it is fresh and like you could see it's still raw.
Is it in the same languages?
It is.
What does it say?
Um,
Or what is the general?
I was about to say, did we determine you could actually read it, or you can only get parts of it?
I'm abyssal and primordial.
Okay.
I have both of those.
Yeah. Okay. So, it looks like a very archaic version of the command spell.
Okay. I'll look over it now. And should we find Quillwise? I think we should find Quillwise. And I'll say, Roger, let's go find Quillwise. Just go try to probably go to his study because that's where he lives.
He's probably just like either passed out face down in a book or something.
If he even sleeps anymore.
I hope he's sleeping. To be fair, didn't he say he'd been up for like several days in a row?
Yeah. Is Quillwise in his study?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh god, where's my mom?
Who's your gnome? Who's your gnome?
Oh, no.
I mean, to be fair, Quillwise does have a +7 in charisma. And that's not even me bullshitting.
Who's your gnome?
Do I know where Quillwise's quarters are?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You guys stay here. I'm gonna go try to find and wake him. Unfortunately, I know he needs sleep, but at this point, I think we can't wait any longer. If this keeps happening to Roderick,
Yeah.
and then other stuff
His
happening
command
because.
Hmm.
Roderick, will you fill Nell in on what you told me when you woke me up out of a dead sleep? He says that with a mild glare. And then I'll go find Quillwise.
I heard someone talking to me, sound like a familiar voice. I went to go see, walked over to where the mirror was in the other side of the room, and the mirror was talking to me. And then we started like
Is the mirror
touching.
enchanted?
No, I think it was because when I woke up from the next part of the dream, it was just a mirror, but then there was something watching me.
Something was watching you.
Yes, did the big white smile thing and said, "Wake up."
What did it look like?
Just yellow eyes and big, unhuman-like smile, like that thing that attacked us.
Yeah. That is also describes the being that only I saw during the fight that was in the back commanding the individuals that were controlling the others.
Great.
Perhaps this is this hag countess that we have heard of that is the competitor for the crown.
And by this time, you guys would start hearing Quillwise's voice all crabby and bitching at Thrain for waking him up, walking down the hallway towards you guys.
I'll go make him his tea. They just wander off at this point. Like, they look exhausted too. They were certainly not ready to wake up yet, and they just go brew tea for everyone.
You see Quillwise come walking down the hall, and he's wearing like a onesie, and it's like too big for him, so like the feet are kind of floppy at the end.
Does it have a butt flap?
Sure.
Yes!
Got a butt flap, and it's a different color than the rest of it too, so it like really stands out with just a single button.
His ass is out. Yes!
And he's like, "What? Would you were talking to a mirror, and you were holding your hand? What? I'm not making any sense of what Thrain is telling me."
Yeah, me either.
All right, take your shirt off.
He just pulls his shirt off.
Extra sugar, extra honey. Aren't you not gonna make him dinner first or something?
He takes a sip and he says, "In times like this, you just get right to business." So he like looks at it and he's like, "Oh.
Can that be a good O, not a bad O?
Mayhaps. Are these the things that you were telling me about before?"
Yes.
Yes.
Thrain, I think you need tea. You look sleepy.
Very.
Nell's already pouring more.
Thank you.
Cool Eyes just like sipping the tea with his pinky up.
Yeah, it's not that graceful for Thrain.
Just gripping it.
Quillwise, he like stops and he's like, Roderick, follow me. And he starts walking like out towards the hallway towards the back.
All of it's just him.
He just said Roderick, but I mean, you're free to follow if you want to.
I'm gonna try to follow.
Sure.
Yep. Sleepy following with tea. Holding
He-
one out to Roderick, like, take it?
Grabs it, downs the whole thing.
He walks you towards the back, and then he goes outside towards like where the training yard is at. And he walks right into the middle of like where all the little training dummies are. And he's like, Roderick, stand right here.
He stands there.
And then
I feel like the side-eye looks that Thrain and Nell give each other, like,
and then Quillwise proceeds to march all the way back up towards the building and then turn around. And he's like, "Are you ready, Roderick?"
Ready for what?
And you hear him say something in a language that you don't understand. Thrain, if you're nearby, you hear him say something along the lines of, "I call to the shadows in Abyssal and Primordial." And as he says that, from Roderick, a burst of energy shoots out, and there is this cloud of blackness. And
It happened before.
he turns and looks at you and he says, "Is that what you've seen?"
Yeah.
He's like, if only someone would have tried to do this sooner. And then he like just starts walking towards Roderick in the middle.
Last time I tried to do that, I broke a chair.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
very expensive.
That this is the fate of everything we know. What is a chair? And then as he like walks closer, he says it again. And he says, "Return to the shadows." And as he does, you see it start to dissipate. And he's like,
Okay.
"Roderick, I could skin you and make a wizard's book of the ages.
Please don't hurt
Otherwise,
Roderick.
No, I'm not saying I would. What I'm alluding to is you have an instruction manual for spells that haven't been seen in eons.
that is very fascinating. How do you get it off? With my skin intact.
Okay, I don't know.
Don't try to heal them.
I have no other suggestions.
That is exactly how the chair got broken. Was trying to heal them.
Well, if you try
If
healing
we
them with
try
a chair,
playing them
why
like
would
a xylophone? Maybe it's a musical instrument.
I have
I'm
some?
sorry, I'm delirious.
From one of the windows, you see Desmond leaning out. The potion that you gave me may be a solution.
Who are you talking to?
Quillwise, Roderick.
Why? I'm not sure that if magical healing didn't do anything, I'm not sure the potion is going to do much more. We could
Yeah.
try it, but it could be a waste.
It resets his age, maybe to a time before he didn't have them. I was hoping to use the potion for study, but I can also study the effect on Roderick.
We could certainly try, but in my experience, if you're branded during your dreams, that a simple potion isn't going to help. But I'm all for it. I do have some wooden mallets if you want to try to play them like a xylophone, but I'm not sure how effective that would be. I mean, it's been a while since I was at the Bardic College, but my studies were more on lore than music.
No one's playing me like an instrument. Give me a solution.
My recommendation would be to use them as the gifts they were given. Although, Roderick, I'm sure you probably fully don't appreciate them as gifts right now.
I don't
Maybe
read
don't talk
whatever
to
this is.
weird dream apparitions, because every time you've spoken to something in our dreams, that's when you get a new one.
Well, how about one of you go into the dreams and tell them to leave me the hell alone so that you can start being a roadmap of demonic books or whatever.
Roderick,
What
I
type-
could teach a rodent to speak Antridge Primordial in an afternoon. I could teach you how to utilize these.
What types of spells are there?
What do you mean?
Who, me?
Yes, you. What do you mean?
Well, like you said, they haven't been seen in how long?
Have you ever
what-
seen anything like this?
No, but that's my point.
I study a lot
What?
of magic and a lot of spells, and I don't know what these are. I think we can
Said-
all fairly objectively say that this one causes a cloud of darkness, but
You said you wanted to try them, right?
yes. But not knowing what they all do, we need to make sure that we keep ourselves relatively safe when doing so.
Yes,
That was
I mean,
the point of you going on the other side of the hall, wasn't it? Not the hall. I don't know.
The courtyard?
I'm going back to
Training.
bed. Mel just leaves.
Now, you didn't make yourself any tea.
They've been holding the tea the whole time. They
Give
have
them
tea
some
ready.
tea. Why are you just standing there? Give them tea.
Right.
Everyone has tea.
No,
Except
Give
for
yourself
Desmond.
tea.
I'm
Desmond,
telling
you have
Thrain to
tea.
give you tea.
I will
What's the
hand
tea
my
for?
mug to Thrain.
Desmond,
To
either
wake
come
her
out
up.
here
I'm up.
or close the window. We are not having a conversation like this.
Hello?
Nope. Take tea and drink, please.
Nell takes your tea and then just walks back to the barracks. They're going to bed.
Okay.
And so Quillwise walks up and he's like, "Okay, well, let's start with this one, I guess." And he starts just like reading Roderick, and he's like, nothing happened. Thrain, you read this one.
I will read it.
All right. And the tongue loosely translates to you essentially saying a pact. And as you say it, what languages do you know right now?
Abyssal, Common, Dwarvish, and Primordial.
As you read this pact out loud, you get this rush of memories in your mind, and you don't quite understand why, but you are hearing the infernal tongue in your mind, and you are understanding it.
And I know it's infernal.
And you know it's infernal. And the voice in the back of your mind is whispering, "Think of any language you choose. Think it, and it shall be yours."
Where can I look up a list of languages in here?
I don't know if they have anything in here or not.
Okay. Go into D&D Beyond then.
Sure, that works.
I don't have it bookmarked or anything.
I don't believe you.
People don't
You
have
don't have to.
D&D Beyond bookmarks.
I don't. I've only logged into D&D Beyond, I think, twice.
Well, come on.
You got Wicked Dot bookmarked.
That I do too.
I do that. Yep.
D&D Beyond takes too damn long to load. I like Wikidot. It's all simple. Looks like some first year HTML graduate built it in Notepad.
All right. Does Wikidot have languages?
It's taking way too long here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Shut up, Jay. You're the reason that I've logged into it twice.
Was it
Stop that. Drink some tea.
Most of the tea I
Elementals.
have is the put you to sleep kind.
No, let's
Drink the other
see.
Bro, there's only like 20 languages.
I know.
but there's
Sylvan?
decisions to be made.
He wants to know
Er,
all of them.
Do you know what? Infernal. I will
He's
take Infernal.
Allie's sister. You want him to make Allie's brother. You want him to make a decision that fast? Come on now.
So you just heard the voice in your head speaking Infernal.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I would. uh, Sylvan.
Sure. As you think Sylvan, all of a sudden you get these flashes of like Elven and Fey architecture just kind of whipping through your mind, and you understand the Sylvan language.
I'll
And
say something to Quillwise and Sylvan.
okay, so as
Just
you
to get
say
the same
that, and then
thing.
you're just sitting there for a second thinking, Quillwise's like, "Great, it didn't work. I'm out of ideas." And then as you as you say something in Sylvan, he's like, "I didn't know, huh?"
I didn't know either. Until now.
You see Desmond like jump out the window and in Sylvan like kind of storm up to you. How do you know that language?
It was. I was told to pick a language, and it would be mine. They said that in Infernal, and I understood it. Do I still know Infernal?
Yeah.
I'll say something in Infernal now. I don't know what's going on, but I can understand more languages.
Desmond
I'm
like
not
puts a
complaining.
hand on your shoulder, and his mask is staring you down. When you speak with Sylvan tongue, you need to speak with the utmost respect and dignity.
Of course, I don't wish to disrespect any tongue. I just wanted
Just
to
letting you
understand
know.
what happened.
So
Just so you know if it's new to you.
I rarely use my other tongues unless the situation calls for it specifically. I'd much rather stick to Dwarvish and Common. But in cases like this, my studies in Abyssal and Primordial have helped. And that's the only reason why I use them.
in Sylvan, Quillwise says, "Are you two done having your moment?"
Yeah. Yes, I think.
I typically don't use this tongue unless I'm speaking with dignitaries from outside of Amethil. So, I would prefer that we stick to a tongue that everyone here understands. And
Roderick's just there, like,
he's looking at Roderick as he's saying that, as everyone here understands.
Oh, he didn't have his headset on.
No, he
It's
did
fine.
not.
It doesn't matter.
They were all speaking Sylvan, and you're just there by yourself, not speaking Sylvan, not understanding.
They're reading you like a book and then speaking in other tongues, and you're just standing there like.
This is my life
Desmond
now.
leaped out his window angry and came over, yelled at Thrain in said language. You're muted, baby.
Okay.
You're not
What
gonna-
is going on?
Nothing, you're good. I'm stupid.
Well, it
Nothing.
appears that this one, and he points to like the one like right above like your right pec. He's like, this one grants whoever uses it the ability to learn a language. Thrain, try this
Yes.
one, and he points to the next one.
All right, let's go.
Uh,
I'll start reading.
all right. So in like some botched version of the Abyssal and Infernal, you start saying something about evoking hellfire.
I'll stop as soon as they. Okay, nope. I'm going all the way. Fuck it.
Nah, what happened?
I don't. No. Nothing.
All right,
Do I realize? Did I notice
Desmond.
anything?
Desmond, read this one.
Desmond like looks over at Roderick. He can't understand any of this, right?
No.
I can copy it. If I'm going to read it, I need my translation tome.
But here, just repeat after me. And like very slowly, like he's trying to teach someone like how to speak for the first time. He's sounding out these. Roderick, you're just hearing Quillwise like Brocknick Nixkjork.
Like, is he okay?
It's fine.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a couple languages out of it. I think it'll be fine. We're not going to talk about what that one had me saying, but it's fine.
Great.
Do you repeat after him, Desmond?
Yeah.
Are you carrying any weapon with you?
So Desmond would be carrying. Where are they? 2 daggers, a spear, and a crossbolt.
You
Like-
sleep with that?
He keeps that
Desmond-
thing on him.
Y'all didn't wake up Desmond.
Which one would be the one that would be like right at your dominant hand, like that you would go to first?
I guess it would be his spear.
So as Quillwise is saying this stuff all slow, and Desmond is like probably rolling his eyes and repeating after him. All of a sudden, after when Desmond says the final word, you hear that word sort of like echo out in like a trail that sort of like envelops the sound around you. And you all notice that same sort of monochromatic glow that sort of sucks the light out of the surrounding on the tip of Desmond's spear.
That one might be useful.
Fascinating. All right. On to number 3. Roderick, I think you're the only one left here that can do this.
What? Why me? Is it not enough that I'm the spell book?
I'm afraid not. I've tried multiple and they haven't worked. Thrain has tried multiple and they haven't worked. It appears that we can only evoke these once. But we know that you
Sure.
can do it more than once in totality, because you've already done this one multiple times. And he's like pointing to the one he was talking about before.
Okay, sure. What am I saying?
All right, well, I don't expect you to read your own chest, so just repeat after me. He starts talking slowly to allow you to repeat, and again, it's still that guttural, like, that very archaic sounding tongue. Thrain, you hear him say something about peeling back the iris and looking into one's soul.
When I hear that, I'll kind of just cock my head and just watch closely and see What happens with Roderick?
Roderick, as you finish the last word, your eyes roll into the back of your head, and you see flashes of images. And here's the 3 images that you make out. Are an image of this old building that looks something like a church with a light shooting out of it. You see an image of a old wooden box that has what appears to be like a bone inside of it. And you see the image of yourself talking to a person, and that person's they look like they're like out of their mind, like not fully competent. Those are the 3 images that you see. Which one do you gravitate towards most?
The person who's talking to the other incompetent person.
Okay. You, as you sort of focus your mind on that image, your gaze relaxes. You close your eyes, and when you open them, you're back to normal on it. You get this heavy thought in your mind of being able to speak to someone and forcing them to tell you anything that you ask them.
Okay.
And you just get this, you get this sense that, like, if you chose to right now, you could pick any person that you wanted to, walk up to them, and get an answer out of them.
All right.
And, like, as you're sort of, like, kind of refocusing, you see Quillwise like, okay, and he's back. Hey, what happened?
Okay. I saw images.
Okay.
An old church with light shooting out the top, a box with a bone in it, and me talking to a person who looked a little off.
What in the hell does that mean?
You're supposed to know this, man. I don't know.
Huh. This one might require more investigation. This one we already know what it does, so we're good there. Who wants to wake Nell?
I got it. And I'll go grabbing the tea on my way through, going to wake Nell. Get a fresh cup of tea. Would I know how Nell likes their tea?
I assume so.
I mean, you've probably seen them make it enough time. It's something that they always make sure is there in the morning, every morning.
I will make it how they like it, and then just bring it to them and gently as possible wake them.
I
We-
just fell back asleep.
I know, we need you for this.
They sleepily thump down off their top bunk and follow
I'll hand
Thrain.
tea. I'll hand you the tea as you dump down.
Thank you.
Of course.
As you make it back outside, Quillwise's like, perfect! You are lucky number 5.
Okay, let's go.
Do you happen to read ancient, primordial, abyssal? It's okay. Just repeat after me. And you all hear him start saying it. And Thrain, you hear the words saying something about bathing yourself in darkness. And as Nell finishes saying this, you all see in sort of the back corner of this training area, with it still being, nighttime, probably really, really early in the mornings, you see like a shadow move in the back of the training area. And all of a sudden you see stepping from the shadow is this sort of incorporeal humanoid, completely devoid of features outside of it being like a completely black silhouette. And it steps out and it walks up probably about 10 feet or so away from Nell, and it puts its hand up to its chest, and you can see that it is brandishing some sort of blade, a dagger or something, and it looks in Nell's direction and it nods.
Go attack that dummy.
And you see it sort of turn around, and then all of a sudden it just disappears for a moment, and then it's right next to the dummy, and you see it.
Well, that was neat.
And then it's just standing there looking at you still.
Nell just looks back to Quill West and I was like, what do I do with him now?
I don't know. Do you give him a name?
Do you sleep, friend?
It just slowly shakes its head no.
We'll just call you Shade for now.
Puts its hand back up to its chest and it nods. And then after about a minute or so, you see it sort of dissipate back into the in the shadows.
Interesting.
And that leaves the last one, which, from what I can tell, is somatically not too different from the command spell. But some of the wording has implications.
How so?
Well, without getting into too much of the detail of it, when the spells of current use were conscribed, there were certain safeguards put in place. Obviously, people have figured out ways of getting around them, but almost any spell that deals with overriding one's free will has a safeguard to it to allow that person the opportunity, if they are of somber mind and strong enough, to escape. I don't see that such clause in this old version. Nothing about this says that they will avoid hurting themselves or others. Nothing says that they have the opportunity to escape it.
Then how would you free them after you, or quote unquote, free them after the spell abuse? Is it like, how would that work?
I don't know.
Would they be stuck like that forever?
Based on the glow of Desmond's weapon no longer being active, and the length of time that our friend Shade was here,
Do I still know those languages?
Quillwise says something in Sylvian, and you do not understand it.
I'll just shake my head.
He's the Desmond. Come here, come here. Steps over to the side, like away from everyone else.
You are concerned.
Roderick's going to focus on that image of himself talking to that person, that vision that he got.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at Desmond and says, "What is your true race?"
Desmond, you are 100% compelled to answer this question. And I need you to roll me a D100. Okay.
That's pretty good.
I will say that if you rolled a 1 or a 2, this would be a very different conversation that we're having. But you are 100% compelled to answer that question. For the sake of everyone at home, you don't have to say it out loud because you have been pulled aside to a private conversation, but you do have to answer John.
Yeah.
Okay, I will message you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will message you in verbatim what he says.
And Roderick,
Yes.
in your mind, as you ask him this question, you get that same sort of feeling again where you have the images in your head, and you see two images play out. One of them, Desmond answers the question, and he says exactly what Sin is going to send you. And the other one, as he opens his mouth to talk, you see from inside of it that sort of monochromatic glow, and you see Desmond erupt into hellfire and disintegrate.
Oh no.
Good lord.
He just sees these things and doesn't have the ability to interact with either one, right?
Correct. You just see these two images play out, and all of a sudden, like, the image of him answering you is the one that, like, your attention focuses on. And then you kind of snap back into it, and, like, the image that was playing out in your mind is, like, now playing out in front of you as Desmond is telling you this. But you get, like, this sickening feeling sort of deep down that, like, if the other image would have played out, like, when you came back to it, you would have seen Desmond basically disintegrate in front of you.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I just needed to know, to see if that worked, and clearly it did. I'm not gonna say anything about what you just. Yeah. I just needed to know what was going on. And I had to pick somebody who I knew had like a close regarded secret that none of us has been able to get out of you. And so, yes, I'm willing to bet that you wouldn't have told me otherwise. Yeah?
I know that I was compelled to do this, right?
You do.
Desmond's gonna like place a hand on Roderick's shoulder. Come with me to my chambers. And Desmond's gonna turn around and start walking, like chest up, both hands behind his back.
But we still need to figure out what the last one does. We need to find a sixth person.
Gather the sixth. I will be busy.
But we need the.
Why does it have to be done now?
I mean, I
Oh.
guess we could just wait.
Not necessarily now. But Thran will look over at Nell. It's 100% up to you if you want to bring her into this.
No, I'm not having my mom have any part of this
Okay.
ancient
Oh yeah,
devil
you do have your
bullshit.
mom.
Okay. And I'll drop it. And I'll say okay, and I'll drop it.
Quillwise, if we have a sixth person read this, will this all be over and this be off of me?
I don't think. I have 2 bits of information that I would like to share with you. Neither one of them you're going to like.
I don't like this.
That's fair. I'm going to tell you anyways. 1, I don't think that's going to help. And 2, I think your internet's gone. Now, I know you're probably saying, Quillwise, what is internet? Let me tell you. I had a vision in the very, very, very future that people would be able to interact through what they call the World Wide Web, which is not too undifferent than the web of magic that we know today. But this magic will be based off of a type of science, technology even.
Why?
I can already tell that I'm losing you. Okay, fine.
Down to 21%.
Already?
Stop that. What did you start on?
70 something.
So you lost 50% in 2 hours.
2 hours. Yep.
Not looking good.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, Sirenscape, you have to go.
That's rude. What'd Sirenscape do?
Eat some battery.
Well, I mean, I guess we give it a second to see if they come back, and if they don't come back, we might have to figure out something anyways.
Right.
Especially right now, we got the juicy shit about to happen.
You know, it'd be a perfect cliffhanger.
True. I typically like cliffhangers that I control, though.
Yeah.
If I don't control a cliffhanger, it's no fun. Then it's almost like a real cliffhanger. Well, I guess if y'all need to use the bathroom or something, we could take ourselves a little, like, 5-minute break.
See, I didn't know this was gonna happen, so I already, muted up and they disappeared for a second and then came back.
Well,
I don't have a camera on, so
let's see,
I
you've
can
had
do
your
that.
camera off, so I wouldn't know anyways.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bathroom break, though.
Yep.
So, give it like 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, people.
I'm gonna have to maybe see what's going on with this modem. I will work all week, not a single fucking problem. Start streaming, all of a sudden the modem just has a fit or something and needs to restart itself right now.
Feel like that's in the settings because I have a feeling it's always around 10 o'clock at this new place on Fridays.
Yeah.
And then I think Cliff and Sin are he's taking a bio break, so that's why they are
Yep.
not responding.
I'll take a bio break too. Probably should have done that while I didn't have internet instead of just sitting here and trying not to fall asleep. But hey.
But that to me definitely sounds like modem settings.
Yeah, there's something going on, but it's annoying. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Hey, people are back.
Yes. And Cliff still hasn't left, by the way. He's just been sitting there. Nope. You just changed your mind on the break?
I was editing an image. I totally forgot that the camera's actually on and you guys can see me, otherwise I wouldn't have taken my headphones off like an asshole. I'm just sitting here like, fuck you guys.
I'll be back.
I do still need to actually go wash out this smoothie cup so it doesn't get all difficult to wash, but I'm getting lazy. I'm gonna go do that because otherwise it will be a bitch to wash.
As soon as that command spell was fucking pulled, I knew what was coming. Someone's gonna fucking get it, and I know what they're gonna ask.
No, you don't. Let's see, is there anyone amongst our party that has some closely guarded, obvious as fuck secrets?
Now that Thrain knows you guys, he's a damn near open book.
Yeah, same. I don't know who we're talking about right now.
No, not at all.
Like Desmond shared more about himself than anyone else has.
Uh-huh.
Shared that he's not even from this continent. His occupation with the plague doctors.
Well, yeah, I'll say, yeah, Thrain hasn't shared much, but then again, not much has been asked of Thrain.
Not much has been asked of Desmond.
More has been asked about you than Thrain, because you show that you're hiding something.
Yeah.
The only people that ask about Desmond are the people that are like, so what's up with the getup?
Well, he doesn't
I
even
feel
want to
like-
answer that. It's like, well, guess any follow-up questions are dead in the water.
And I feel like we've been together for so long as this, like, we're used to it. It's him. I don't think there's anything else I can do to optimize this battery. I hate how little this battery is.
Just plug it in.
Yeah, I wish I could. I really wish I could. I left this at work and I asked my boss, what's up?
Nothing in the house
No.
that matches the charger.
Yeah, my phone
It's not
charger, but it
replaced.
doesn't charge. I'm not even at home right now. I'm dog sitting. And if I would have remembered to grab the key from my manager, I now have an alarm code, and that would have had a key to the shop. So I could have went in and got my charger. But
But alas.
like I just got set up with the alarm code today.
All right, so we got 20% battery to finish the night out.
Correction. 17%.
Jesus Christ, it's already been fucking
Yes.
Did you say
7%
70?
in 12 minutes?
Yes.
We all know the last 25% of a computer's battery is a fucking lie. They'll be like 14% battery, warning, shutting down.
I don't ever have that issue.
It's almost like we have desktops.
I mean, I have a work laptop too. I just don't I don't let it get down that low.
It's usually plugged in when it gets that low. It sits on my toolbox at work.
Well, let's make the most of it.
Yep.
All right, so Quillwise says to Roderick, when you say, well, reading the last one, make it stop. There's two things I need to tell you, and you're not going to like either one of them. Firstly, I'm fairly certain that they're not going away, because if they were, that one there, and he points to the one he's pointed to about 6 times tonight now, would have already been gone. Secondly, and this is the part that you're probably really going to dislike, based on that fresh one there and the amount of room the others take up, I'd say that you have room for 3 more.
You know, this is.
If we're gonna have our sleep interrupted by ancient evils, at least they're giving you powers. All we get is a scare.
Joy. Then let the demons know that they can use your canvas from now on.
I'm good, thank you. Well said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thanks for the offer. No thanks.
Mm.
I will
Yeah,
gladly
put on
decipher
some
them
more
for
weight.
you.
If you put on some more weight, you can definitely fit some more on there.
No.
Well, compositionally speaking, even if you were to gain weight, the canvas would be larger, but the size of each of the individual inscriptions would also stretch to the.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Quillwise. Jesus.
Remember how you said that you studied lore in Bardic College?
Yes.
Well, this isn't from that school. That's more of the comedy side of things. It was
Oh.
a joke.
As I can tell from the lack of your certificates, I see you did not graduate from said school.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, per usual.
He smiles and he's like, I don't know if we should involve a 6th. Maybe it's better we just wait.
Agreed.
So, no, you said there only looks to be room for 3 more. But is there a chance for the 4th? That way, technically we all would have tech 2 that we've read.
I'm not sure of any of this, but if I were to just do rough math, it only looks like another 3 would fit evenly as the first 5 fit here, the second one being larger. Roderick, was that one more painful?
They're all painful, man. Let me carve up your skin and see how it feels, and then
Well,
you
I didn't
compare.
do this to you. I'm trying to help. I'm saying, yes, I acknowledge this is a terrible situation, but you have the ability to turn this into something to use against them. Or you just put your shirt on and pretend they're not there.
Okay, well, why do I keep seeing images of another me that I'm able to talk to and sometimes touch, and sometimes it's giving me advice?
Are you sure you're not losing it?
I might be.
It
If
could
I
be a
had to
coping
guess,
mechanism.
if I had to guess, it would be your second aura gaining more and more of itself.
Okay, and what happens when it gets more? Is it just gonna take me over? What does that mean?
You weren't losing any of your original, from what I've seen. It just looked like you were gaining a second.
And is the second what's writing this stuff on me?
I don't
I
think so.
No, the last I checked, they were unrelated, as far as I can tell.
Maybe this whole process is put your body through some unforeseen connection to the weave. I mean, you've heard of stories of mothers in duress able to lift exponentially more than their weight to save their children from a turned carriage, or being able to move boulders of unsurmountable size that they shouldn't feasibly be able to. Sometimes when the scenarios we encounter happen, a degree of survival kicks in that could be considered unnatural, supernatural even. Maybe your body is reacting to all of this by developing some secondary mechanism to strengthen you.
Okay. Hold on. And he walks into the building, and then like a minute later you just hear a dragging sound as he's dragging the mirror outside where everyone is. And then he sits it up, and then he looks in the reflection. He says, see, and he looks back, everybody's like, look, I'm gonna show you I'm not crazy. All right, show them that you're a different person from another dimension. Here, show them. Just give him a minute. Yeah. Come on, show them so I'm not looking crazy.
Maybe it doesn't respond to somaic.
Fuck no.
Oh,
Why do I sound like John was just forcefully removed from the internet? He was like, mother...
Nope.
Well,
That one.
well,
What the hell is going on?
now what?
John sounded like he was forcefully removed. Hi,
And
welcome
John's
back.
I'm setting up my backup hotspot just in case it drops.
So as you're talking to the mirror, Quillwise kind of comes up and puts his hand on your shoulder, and he's like, maybe it doesn't respond to somaic components as much as some other form of activation.
Okay. Like what?
I don't know. What do you
Oh,
do
so
in
I'm
your
just
dreams?
cursed. Okay.
I just talk to him in my dreams, and then he responds usually. Or in the case like before the Durian attack, I went and found a reflection and talked in the reflection, and he responded.
Just curious. I wonder if it's in times when you're not consciously focusing on getting it to activate, but rather you're relaxing enough to allow your body to open up to the weave.
Relax is what I would call myself since we woke up after you saved us. Uh,
Well, maybe relax is a bad term, but not less of using your mind and more of just your heart.
okay. Then he like closes his eyes and just kind of like starts breathing out slowly and then inhaling in his nose and breathing out slowly through his mouth and just kind of repeats that is one with the weave, one with the weave. Second person. One becomes two, two becomes one. He's just
Quillwise patting you on the back. You don't actually have to say it.
Shh, don't interrupt.
Sorry.
And he's basically trying to bullshit himself into seeing if he can make this other entity like present itself to show everyone.
Yeah, so as you're doing that, everybody that's out here, you're just watching this sort of theatric performance in front of the mirror that Roderick is doing. And as he sort of like closes his eyes and like, you know, he starts becoming less of like flailing around and his motions become a little bit more controlled and his breathing slows down a little bit. All of a sudden, you all start noticing the reflection in the mirror isn't moving in tandem with Roderick anymore. You start noticing at first just like slight differences, and it almost looks like the things that Roderick was just doing a second ago, trying to purposefully manifest it. You're seeing this reflection doing now, almost like it's trying to manifest him. And you just hear Quillwise like, Roderick. And he's like pulling on your pants.
It's like, what? I'm feeling the weave in the chakras and stuff. What?
Open your eyes.
He like peeks an eye open.
And all of a sudden you see your reflection, and it's like still got its eyes closed and it's still moving its hands around.
This is the guy. This is the other, the me, the him that is me, that I talk to sometimes.
You see your reflection look down at Cool Eyes and say, "It worked. Look it."
Like, is he looking like down where Quillwise would be?
He's
to
looking at the
Roderick,
Quillwise
or is he
standing right
looking-
next to him.
Okay.
And in the reflection, you see Quillwise say, "It's okay. Keep trying and maybe you'll get it." And then Quillwise walks away. And your reflection is still just standing there, staring at you, as everyone on your side is watching this play out through this mirror.
Wait. You can hear me, right?
It worked. I summoned
Yes. Yeah. Sure, whichever way that works. Tell your Quillwise to come back here.
you. He can't see it.
Looks down at his Quillwise. Can you see this?
It's like, this is fascinating. Cool Eyes like looking behind the mirror.
Does everybody see it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll walk up next to Roderick and try to see what's going on. See if I can understand it.
I mean, you walk up next to Roderick and you look in the mirror, and everything is an exact mirror image, with the exception of like your reflection is not there right at this moment. It's just Roderick standing there, and Roderick is acting independent of Roderick that is standing right next to you.
Interesting.
Okay. So, he looks to reflection of Roderick, and he's like, "Let's, the vision or dream that we had last night. You still remember that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your side can't see me, but my side can see you. Let's try the mirror trick again."
Okay.
He reaches out, turns slightly, interlaces the fingers, and tries to pull through.
Yeah, and as you pull, this time you feel the full tug, and you pull your reflection through the mirror, and as you do, the mirror falls backwards and shatters. And your reflection is just standing in front of you, looking almost identical to you, just like slightly desaturated.
Huh? Oh shit! Is this where I'm gonna wake up? God.
Desmond like pops open a cork of one of his vials and chugs a potion real quick.
A potion?
I need,
Bottle of Daniel's Jack.
I need my mayonnaise for this. He's just gonna straight up cast detect magic.
Yeah, so as you cast it, this being that is standing next to Roderick is like a being of pure magic, but you're picking up that same like gray aura from it, rather than it being like divination or evocation. Like, it has its own unique signature. It's just like pure magic.
And does Roderick still have a split aura, or is
He does not.
so Desmond is like going and prodding Roderick and like lifting arms, inspecting him, then going to this other one. And is it tangible?
Yeah.
At first, he like kind of bashes his hand into his chest, thinking it's gonna go through. Then starts doing the same thing to the reflection, like lifting his arms, prodding him, and doing all this.
Do you
Looks
have
up at
the
Roderick,
markings? Sorry, go ahead.
and Desmond's like, "Well, your second aura completely split from you now. You have your own aura, and this is what I seen building up off of it."
Okay. Well, shit. We're gonna have to. We got another mirror somewhere, right? So he can
Mm.
go back home now, because. Like, didn't mean to. Didn't want this to be a one-way trip for you. You've got a whole thing going on.
He's like, he's just like looking around at like everything around him, like this. This isn't my world.
No.
But everything's identical.
Judging by the way you had your own Quillwise and everything, and how you thought you were summoning me while I thought I was summoning you, I think we are running parallel.
Hang on. Did your Quillwise give you a sending stone?
He's like, yeah, it's in my bag.
Does he have his bag?
Mm.
No.
Do you have the markings on your chest?
He lifts up his shirt and he has no markings.
There's a difference. I'm assuming our Roderick still has his shirt off.
Oh yeah, you have the shirt off, so never mind. You would see he doesn't have the markings.
Okay. Weird.
Desmond's gonna like pull out one of his gems and stand in front of both of the Rodricks and like angle the gem up and look real close if you can see the reflection of both Rodricks like in the gleam of the gem.
So if you hold the gem up and look, like you can see the reflection, and you can see Roderick's reflection, but you're not able to get like both of them in one glance.
So like as I turn it, sometimes in one of the seams it's him and one of the other ones it's the reflection.
Yep.
Desmond's just standing there silent, twirling this gem in his hand. Like he just walked up in front of you and just went like this.
Quillwise, what do you make of this?
Quillwise has just like been sitting there, just like sort of staring at this reflection. I'm not entirely sure. It's clearly some manifestation from the weave.
It's pure magical energy, but I have no prior knowledge to any of this type.
Same here.
Mm-mm.
Now the real question is, do you still have a reflection?
They both do. This one's still turning it, just not together.
Do we have another mirror here?
I mean, if we want to go inside to the Great Hall, there's some, but none that we'll be able to drag out. And
No, like so that we can set them both in front of it at the same time.
well, sure.
I'll start walking away towards that gray hole. Assuming that people are going to try to follow. 'Cause I'm
Yeah, the Roderick's are gonna shrug and walk in behind you.
And you guys notice that when they're not paying attention, like when they're not on the spot, their movements are like in tandem. Like everything they do is like in the same exact motion. And it's not until like one of them's interacting with the other or if they're focusing on doing something that you notice the break from that. But like when they're idle or like when they're like just kind of autonomously moving around, they're walking on the same like ones and twos and their arms are moving the exact same way. But you notice like if Roderick like goes to open the door, like his reflection isn't like reaching for the door that isn't there. But it kind of plays a trick on your mind to see this happening because they almost fall back into this sort of rhythm of parody with one another.
Hmm.
And Cool Eye's like he kind of walks up to Roderick Prime and he's like, Do you think we could have your reflection read the sixth one?
Is that gonna cause some sort of like paradox or something?
You're right, we probably shouldn't try that. He just turns and like smiles at your reflection.
I'll be honest, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
And as you sort of go into the great room and the Rodrickses are standing in front of the mirror, you notice that there's only one Roderick in the mirror, and it's like the one that you're seeing next to you isn't even in that reflection.
I'm gonna fall asleep, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say when you wake up.
I've been slipping in and out, yeah.
That's why I didn't even bother to put the camera back on for you, just in case. I was like, let him get some cat eye in. Don't need to do anything there.
I'm fine, totally fine.
Adam, how's your battery doing?
6.
I think we could probably call it here if we really wanted to. So yeah, just for the sake of Megan not passing out and flipping forward in their chair and breaking their face on something because that's their luck. And
It's a glass desk too.
yeah, okay. We need to step on it then. Not the glass desk. Don't step on that. Yeah, so we'll end it on the note of Roderick is standing there looking at the mirror, and Roderick, you probably get sort of a weird, almost hollow feeling, like looking in the mirror and not seeing anything. You see all of like, you see like everybody
Everything
standing
but
there
himself.
with you, but you don't see yourself. And you all are witness to this as well. You all see your own reflections, and they are all parroting your movement like a reflection does. And yeah, we'll end it right there. So,
Yes.
thanks everybody for hanging out. I will raid out if you give me one moment to do so. And we'll pick it up next week, and we'll all chip in to buy Megan a monster, or
It's been a week.
has she got a monster? Or it's been a long week, you mean?
It's been a long fucking week.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
I had my energy drink. Well, not energy drink. I had a coffee at like 3, which usually does the trick for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna buy you some
Yeah.
cocaine for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get you the good shit too. None of that cheap shit. No fentanyl.
Right.
I mean, we are out of the ADHD medications. There's on
He's not supposed to be a
back order
clever
and shortage
god.
again, so I'm unmedicated. Yay! That's a lot less stimulants than usual.
So shouldn't that make like the effects of like the energy drinks like stronger?
No. Not every individual with ADHD is affected oddly by stimulants. I have like a weird downward and then I shoot up. So if I have a little bit of caffeine, I'll just fall right back to sleep. I have to have a good amount of stimulants, otherwise it's
So you
not
need to
helping.
butt chug a monster next week.
Oh yeah, totally.
Bypass that gut bacteria. Just get direct absorption in the bloodstream.
Yep.
It'll work.
Perfect.
I'd say coffee usually makes me more tired, but energy drinks keep me going.
Sin's like,
Yep.
I take no dose and then I'm up for 3 days. Or I take no dose and I pass out. I take an energy drink and fall asleep. Yeah, anyways. Thanks everybody. We're gonna raid out to tabletop rolls. I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Bye.
Good night, kids.
Fuck my god up.
Right.
Right.
A 19 as you smack it. As you smack me.
And this is my last weekend that I know I have dog sitting for a while.
Like, push it off. And say,